Hi travelers, Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot. I know it has been a bit since you've heard from me. I am working on some new things behind the scenes. I am one person. I don't have a team helping me. I'm having to do a lot of uh, learning code and some other things. So just kind of bear with me. The monthlies, the mid-monthlies, or the January monthlies will be out starting probably Sunday. I don't know, I might get started a little bit earlier. So just kind of bear with me. They are coming. Um, I'm going to come to you today with an open reading for the full moon in Cancer, which is today, January 12th, 2017. We are still under the auspices of Jupiter in Libra, and we are also under the influence of Saturn in Sagittarius. So this is a general reading. It is not for any specific time frame, nor is it for any specific sign. It is simply just a general reading, so the messages will not resonate with everyone. For some of you, it may be your exact story. For others of you, there may be parts. I do hope that whatever the messages are, that you may be able to get something out of it that is worthy for you. I do readings 6 days a week, and my turnaround time for the video and the phone readings are between 48 to 72 hours. If you're interested or you want to go over and take a look at the site, my website, you can subscribe to the website. You don't need a WordPress account. You simply go up here to the little thing in the corner, click on that, and that'll take you directly over to the website. You can go over and take a look. Let's see, is there anything else? I don't know, I'm so busy. I don't know what to do with myself. Yes, we are under, Mercury went direct on the 9th, but I'm going to tell you something, and it just depends on you. Um, it's direct, but we're in what's known as the direct shadow phase. So in other words, there can still be a few issues that crop up that have to do with Mercury. Mercury deals with communications across all forms of medium. So it's the spoken word, the written word, cell phones, fax machines, computers, blogs, websites. Um, it deals with sales, negotiations, and um, yeah, selling products, things of that nature, business. Also rules travel and the weather. So I had to go to the doctor's office yesterday, and after I came out, I got in my car and I was headed home, and I wanted to stop and take a couple of photographs. It was so beautiful outside yesterday. It's about 80 degrees here, and it was clear. We'd been under fog for a couple of weeks, and I could literally see clear across the water to the other side, some miles away. And so I wanted to stop and take a couple of photographs. It was absolutely gorgeous. The water was serene. Realized I didn't have my phone. What the hell? Now, y'all know that I ran over my phone with my Jeep a few months back. So we're looking at a brand new phone, right? And I'm like, where the hell's my phone? So I pulled over, and some nice man allowed me to use his cell phone so I could call back to the doctor's office. Do you see my phone laying out, in the parking lot? They came back, no, they don't. So I'm like, what the hell? And I thought I said, I heard something really funny when I pulled off. Maybe I left it on top of the car. Wow. That's how I ran over the last one. That's how, every time I destroy a phone, it's because I leave it on top of the car and I drive off. So anyway, so I get back in the car and I go back to the doctor's office. I'm like, I'm calling on Archangel Zachiel. Please don't let anybody have picked my phone up. Please don't let anybody have run over it. Please keep it safe wherever it is and let me find it. So I was already about, I don't know, maybe 8 miles away from the doctor's office. I turned around and went back. So that's 16 miles, right? Get to the doctor's office. I'm looking up and down the street as I drive. Don't see the phone. I'm all on my knees, looking under other people's car in the doctor's parking lot. Don't see my phone. And then just as I was about to go back into the doctor's office, I looked up and it was on top of my car. It stayed on top of my car for 16 miles. So when I pulled it off the top of the car and I went back into the doctor's office, and I'm like, oh my God, it was on top of my car. The lady goes, God, you're living right. I'm like, I must be. So the point with that story is that you may still be dealing with a few issues, even though Mercury has gone direct. Just know that that's going to be clearing up on the 29th of January. And then whatever it is that you need to do, you will be free to kind of unencumbered in terms of the things that Mercury rules. You can't stop living. You understand what I mean? You have to do what you have to do, but just try to be careful, be cautious. Luckily, I still have my old phone that I ran over. OtterBox saved it, so I would have been able to come back and just, you know, had another communications device. So that's Virgos for you. We be A, B, and C. So here we go. Oh, speaking of my phone, it's way over there. 9 cards. Knight of Cups, Page of Wands, and the Devil. Well, there's that Saturn energy. The World card, another Saturn energy. The 5 of Coins, and there's Libra. King of Coins, King of Wands. Holy smokes, 2 kings. And then the 2 of Swords. Under the deck, we have, yay, Uranus. Now, remember, he just went direct on the 29th. And he is probably, that's just been a few weeks out. He's probably just now getting up to speed because he's a big outer planet. Let me grab my phone here. And, okay, here we go. Right in the center, we have Mercury and Taurus. And Taurus rules the 2nd house. It is ruled by Venus. And Venus is about the beauty, the wealth, the income, the women. It is about self-worth, self-esteem, what you will or will not sell your soul for. It is about the money that you make and the possessions that you earn yourself. And Taurus is a fixed energy, so it's a slow, stubborn kind of energy. Mercury is very fast. It likes to do things in a hurry. It's quick. And so basically, I think what I'm looking at here, because I have these 2 kings, and 9 times out of 10, when I see 2 kings or 2 queens, this can sometimes indicate that there's some type of business or negotiation that is happening. Now, some people will say, well, it could be, you know, 2 people fighting each other, whatever. That may be true as well. This could also be 2 aspects of the same person. This can also be females, not just because they're kings, does not mean that this is representative of just 2 males. It could also be 2 females, because depending on what you do in terms of your job, let's say if you're a single mom or what have you, then you have to be able to be both the queen and the king, okay? So this could also be speaking of 2 females in business capacities, 2 males in business capacities, 1 person with the 2 different aspects, okay? Across the top, I have the Knight of Cups. And this is, Knights bring messages and news. They can bring gifts. They can bring, what else do Knights do? Well, Knights do a lot. But because he represents the Knight of Cups, this would be water energy, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And today we do have the moon in Cancer. So typically, as my understanding of it is that when there's a positive aspects in one element, that the other 2 elements may indeed also benefit. So that's why we're going to include the Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. He is followed up by the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands also brings news. So I'm looking at, let me go back. The Knight of Cups is typically that kind of an energy where something has been brought forth, but it's very, very tentative right now. This is somebody who may step forward and then take a step back. Okay. Um, so it's not something that's set or settled. It is simply an offer or some kind of news that has come in. But because it is a cups energy, it is something that has an emotional component to it. Now he's followed by the page of wands. That's a fire energy. So we're speaking about Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. We know that fire energy is rather quick. The wands represent your fighting spirit, your ambition, your desire, your go-get 'em attitude. This can a lot of times represent work issues. But I liken that energy of fire in terms of what it represents to that of the cups. There's an emotional component to it. You know, somebody tells you, man, you can't do that. And you're like, man, let me get up and show them I'm going to do that. And they can't tell me I can't do that. So it's that kind of fighting spirit. But he also brings messages and news. Okay. I have also seen the Page of Wands represent a new spiritual journey that's about to occur. But now we run into this devil, and the devil is the energy of Saturn. And right now we have the sun in Capricorn, we have Pluto in Capricorn. Mercury was in Capricorn, but I think it's moved on to Sagittarius now. Not exactly sure. I have to go back and check the transits. But the devil energy is simply that energy of perhaps being blocked or being stuck. It can also represent you doing things or behaving in a way that is self-sabotaging, or it could be that you're dealing with somebody else who is blocking you or is self-sabotaging. The devil speaks to karma. This could be some type of karmic relationship that is happening here, or this could even be, in one respect, perhaps someone from the past has returned, someone that you have a history with, a not so good history with, who is making a reappearance, you see. Because I have these two cards here, it's an offer, but is it an offer from the devil? Okay. And Capricorn represents that slow climb to the top. What does it take to get from where I am to where I want to go? Okay. So this card could represent lots of things, the devil. Now, what's interesting is I have, followed by the devil, the world card. And this also represents Saturn. Okay. So it's kind of giving me like two messages that whatever has come in, if this applies, if this resonates with anyone, whatever news or offer has come in, it very well could be an offer from the past that has come in. It could be dealing with work. It can perhaps maybe be a relationship issue, a romantic relationship issue. So perhaps there is news or a return of someone from the past, but they have shown up because it is time to work out the karma with them. Okay, this represents the end of a cycle. This is about integrating those lessons that you've learned so that you can move on. All right. Now, for some of you, I think that this situation could be that maybe you are considering leaving a relationship. I see someone walking away from this energy. They're walking away. Why? Because justice says it's time. This is Libra, and Libra is all about fairness and balance. It is about equality. It is about people who have been behaving ethically and responsibly will be rewarded. Those who have not will also get their reward, however that plays out. It is the boomerang of what comes around goes around. Okay. But to me, the Five of Coins represents someone feeling isolated and shut out. And in some respects, might even be feeling sorry for themselves or so caught up in what's happening around them that they don't realize that there is actually perhaps an answer or help very, very close by. This could also be speaking about, because it represents Mercury in Taurus, it could be about very, very slow discussions. It could be about maybe even a halt in negotiations or a halt in discussing whatever things need to be discussed. in the context of whatever type of relationship that this is speaking about. Basically, the root of what we're trying to get to is we're trying to get to what is fair, balanced, and equal. We do have the scales there. And what do scales do? They take substances, sometimes of different, like flour and water, and you have to figure out how to weigh them out so that they are balanced equally. That's what Libra does. Now, we come down to this King of Pentacles. He will represent a Capricorn, a Taurus, and or a Virgo. If it is not an earth sign individual, then he's going to represent someone who deals perhaps banking, accounting. He will be a business owner. He's going to be someone who's either very, very good at saving money and making money, whether this is his own money or let's say he's, maybe owns a business and he's doing other kind of financial work for other people. He's going to be very good at that. And then what I have is this King of Wands, and he is facing this King of Pentacles. Now, the King of Wands will be either a Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries. And as you can see, we have a lot of fire energy here. Well, not a lot, but we've got these two. He's going to be the entrepreneurial kind of guy. He's going to be the guy that, I don't know, works out of his car or works out of his home. He's the ideas guy. He's the one that's got the ideas, but he kind of delegates, okay? He delegates what it is that he has to do. So I feel because they're looking at each other, and I think in one respect, what this is saying is that there is, in two regards, there is some type of business, perhaps negotiation. Libra represents the seventh house, and this is the house of partnership. It is known as the house of marriage, but it represents business partnerships as well, okay? And maybe what the situation is that one person feels that either somebody is not physically doing, because that's what the coins represent. Maybe they're not physically holding up their end of the bargain by actually physically contributing more into the relationship, partnership, or they don't have the finances, okay? If this is two aspects of the same person, and this is somebody who's trying to figure out how to, again, get from here to there, okay? And with an eye to reaching this type of financial security. We can see that we have the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords says that there are decisions to be made, and it's, in a sense, not being able to make decisions because you feel as though you think that you don't have enough information to make the correct choice. This card speaks to being at a standstill. It can also speak to someone, a mediator coming in, who's going to come up and clear this issue up. It can be speaking to trusting your intuition or being afraid of trusting your own intuition. As you can see, this person is blindfolded, and behind her we have the water, and it's not a placid lake. It's a little ripply, like there's wind blowing across it. So this is someone who emotionally may be a little worried. There may be some anxiety or some fear. This is also what the devil represents. Okay, he can represent fear, those things that come up from the unconscious. Again, that self-sabotaging behavior. But justice comes in to say, if this is the case, it's the reason why these things are coming up at this particular point in time is because it's time now. You see, there's a change that's trying to happen here. And what the Tower tells me is that, if you don't figure out what it is that you need to do in some way, shape, or form, then the universe is going to come in and change that for you. Now, what's interesting to me is that these three cards here, these two cards alone, Saturn is the Lord of Karma, the Father of Time, but he also represents building strong foundations. Now, a lot of times when people get readings from me and I say, the Saturn card keeps coming up, and I say, you got to build a stronger foundation. Well, a lot of times people think that I'm speaking about simply finances. I need to get out there and work hard, or I need to get a better job, or I need to start investing my money. Those things may be true depending on where you're coming from. But there are other areas of your life where you should be building stronger foundations. So in other words, because we have this Mercury and Taurus in the center, this could be about you building stronger foundations in the way that you um, operate within partnership. It could be about better communications. It could be about diversifying certain things. It can be about the giving up and sharing of power. I got to give up. Sometimes you have to give up one thing in order to get another thing. And you're going to have to weigh out what the cost is to you. This could play out in a lot of ways. Now, I would think, as the cards lay out, because this is the past, the present, the future, the past, the present, and the future. And I think that in one respect, this King of Pentacles has gone through something himself in the past, okay? And he has now come through whatever this is, and he's ready to move forward. Here we have this particular King of Wands. We see that he too is ready, but his offer or his ideas are not fully fleshed out yet. He's a knight, he's a page, okay? And because of that, we have some kind of discord, perhaps within the person themselves. Over here, what I'm looking at is that there is some kind of block, there is some kind of karma associated with this. What I keep picking up off of the cards is that it's based around fear for someone. And the fear of stepping into something new, the fear of owning your own power, or the fear of it's trying to come to me. Maybe it is about the fear that you won't be treated fairly and equitably in whatever manner this means. But again, this Tower card, now, if the Tower card, the Tower card is a card of quick, sudden change, things that happen out of the blue, unexpected things. It's not always something negative. I think, to me, when I first started reading cards a couple of years ago, this card was very frightening to me. But I have since learned, and as a matter of fact, this card is actually one of my favorite major arcana cards in the deck, because when I see it, what it tells me is that something is about to come. And what I mean by that, for some people, if their foundations, as we're speaking about here with Saturn, are not sustainable and secure, then this could be a warning that there's something that's going to come in and completely destabilize the whole situation. But the reason why it happens, it's not bad luck. It's because the universe says, it's trying to get your attention. This is something that you need to fix, so that if ever this same situation comes up again, you won't be stuck out the way you're going to be stuck out now, okay? But at the same time, we have the lightning bolt that comes in and knocks the top off. This could all of a sudden be a eureka moment. You have been struggling. We see this devil, this stuck, slow energy. You have been struggling, trying to figure out what you're supposed to do or how you're going to do it. And then suddenly, like a light bulb, the answer comes to you, okay? And because you get that, guess what? All of that crumbly foundation, that shaky shit that was going on, you can fix it. You can fix it. This is, these crossroads here, the offer, somebody perhaps walking away and waiting. Perhaps they're waiting to hear back. Now, the swords represents thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, communications. So maybe this is someone has put forth an offer and they're waiting to hear back. They haven't heard anything, okay? They haven't heard anything, and they don't quite know what to think about it. And that's bringing up a lot of fear for them. Okay. So if that's the case, then you need to take a look at why is it that you're fearful of not hearing something back? If it's that important, what are you going to do about it? It could also be that you're afraid of the answer you're going to receive back when you get it. So this is the windmills of your mind circling around. Well, what if the person rejects the offer? Or what if the person, has done this? Or what if the person has moved on? What if the person has said this? Well, what if? And what are you going to do about it? And that's the fear that's coming up around it. You got to do something, but you're too afraid to make a move. Here's the Tower card. Okay. Now, the other diagonal here of the Devil, the Five of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. If you're dealing with someone in this energy, this is someone who's very stubborn and very fixed. They're going to be very, very difficult to deal with. May even just be not even worth dealing with. And again, that is something you're going to have to determine whether or not if I'm going to, I don't have time to be fooling with this crap. So what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do about it? Indecision. And this could be suddenly you figuring out how the hell you're going to break away from this stubborn person who doesn't want to budge from their position. And it could be because it's a power-based thing. Okay. This card represents Mars and Uranus. So this is about something suddenly happening where that Mars energy, you're going to have to get in there and do it. Or it is about you suddenly figuring out what you're supposed to do, but you're still going to have to get in there and do it. Now, let's take a few. I don't know if I want to use the Indo-Venus. I'm going to use the Indo-Venus on that Devil card. But what I want to take a look at, this spread really calls for, because I'm not exactly sure if I'm looking at if this is a marriage, if this is a business partnership, if this is just something in general that you're going through in your life. You don't like the way things are right now, and you're being tasked to take a look at what it is that you can do in order to change your circumstances. And that's what I always say. If you don't like the situation that you're in, change it. Only you are responsible for that. And if you're sitting around waiting for some kind of change to drop out of the sky on you, that may happen, but it may not be a change in which you're going to like a whole lot. So sometimes there are ways to mitigate the energy of this Tower card. Okay. I feel that for some of you, the Tower card is giving me reversed energy. In other words, whatever unexpected change comes, it's not going to be something so big you're not going to know what to do. It's still going to require you to get off your butt and do something, though. For others of you, this Tower card is full-fledged. In other words, it's going to be something that's going to come in, and for a second, you may be stunned and not know what to do. This could even be you getting that aha moment. Suddenly, you're able to figure out what it is you need to do, and it comes to you at such speed and depth and clarity that it kind of stuns you, and you got to sit there and go, okay, well, now I got this idea. Now I got to make plans. How am I going to, okay? So it can play out, excuse me, in any way. Now, what I want to do, I want to pull cards on these, and because we have that Jupiter and Libra, this is really all about partnerships, cooperation, balance. So this could be about a marriage. It could be about maybe somebody's going to propose to you out of the blue. I don't know. Maybe it is somebody's going to come and say, I don't love you anymore. I want to leave. Maybe it could be you find out that you're about to lose your job. Maybe it is you go into work, somebody says the wrong thing to you, and you're like, man, screw this shit, and you leave. Maybe it is you put in for a job and you haven't heard anything back, and all of a sudden they contact you and say, yes, we're going to hire you. I mean, it could play out in many different ways. So you have to take the reading kind of generally and apply some of the things that I'm saying as it relates to your particular situation. In order for me to know, for you to know, or for me to tell you exactly what's going on around your situation, that does require a personal reading. This is just general energies. Now, I'm going to pull 3 Sibila cards on these 2 kings to see what they're telling me here. Right. Now, in one respect, there's the Morte card, the death card. And we know that death is an ending, but it is also a beginning. It is simply a mutation of a situation, okay? It's a transformative time. So we can see, as I was saying, that this particular king has already been through that. And now we have the fidelità, okay? The fidelity and the loyalty. And then we have the conversation, and this is pleasant conversation. So in a sense, it's telling me 2 things. Now, these could even be, as I said, this could be a male and a female. They're just presenting as king energies, all right? So don't assume, please do not assume that I'm only talking about males, okay? This could literally be a male and a female couple, same sex and or heterosexual, whomever's going to take the role of the male or the female, but everybody's in their male energy right now. So this could be literally about someone who there's a transformation of a situation, and the idea there's perhaps a new loyalty that's coming up, and this will be conversations. This card says they're pleasant conversations. So it's almost like it's going to be, remember I was saying it's like a repeat, it's a boomerang, it's a do-over, it's a second act, a double act that may be coming about. But this also says that with this card and this could mean that perhaps you may be waiting to hear back from someone, but in a sense, you may have pleasant conversations, but it still may not go exactly as you hoped or you planned. So in other words, the Tower card is here to say, you know, kind of prepare yourself as best you possibly can. This, in a sense, also speaks to, again, negotiations. And this is not just about financial negotiations. Anytime you're in partnership or relationship, you always need to get in there and negotiate for yourself. Even if you're in a crappy ass relationship, okay, you're still a common denominator in it. And if all you've ever had were crappy relationships, guess what? You are the common denominator in that. So what are you going to do about it? You can get in there and decide, you know what, I'm not going to have another crappy relationship, or I'm not going to continue being in this particular crappy relationship. And we need to figure out how to bring some balance to this crap and not be afraid to do that. And this Tower card could be you, if this applies, shocking the crap out of somebody else once you decide how you want to move forward. So the Tower card doesn't tell me how it's going to play out. It's just saying, you know, that there's a change. And if you don't figure out what to do about it, the universe is going to come in and change it for you anyway. These are 3 big, you have 4 big karma cards here. You have the Devil, the World, Justice, and then the Tower. And this is really about getting yourself. We can see here, Knight of Cups, the Justice card to the King of Pentacles, that whatever this offer is that has come about, it is in one respect a fair and equitable one. It may not be romantic, but it's fair and equitable, okay? And so this is about you being stable and firm in your foundations about that particular offer, okay? Now, we can see that there are blocks here and there are fears, maybe self-sabotage. Maybe this is about somebody who has addiction issues, and those issues have come back around now, and they don't quite know how to communicate, or that there's something in the relationship or the partnership itself that's trying to break free to come through, but somebody still has not figured out how to communicate that yet, okay? I want to take a look at this 5 of Pentacles here. It sits right in the center. And it's almost like the cards are saying, you know, okay, it's over and it's done with. Yes, it's okay to feel like that. But justice is here to say, okay, that's the way it was supposed to go. So let's accept it and keep it moving. All right. I mean, the cards could be worse. This could be like a 9 of swords or a 10 of swords. I hate to see those cards. That's a tough energy to come out of. And this could just simply be about not knowing what's going on or what's happening. But that's no reason to fear making, to continue doing what's best for you in the meantime. Right. Now, that's interesting. I have the thief showing up on this 5 of cups, a 5 of coins, and that represents a loss of some kind, okay? This represents theft of goods or services, but as y'all always hear me say, people can steal more things from you than your TVs, your jewelry, your money, and your car, okay? Then I have the alegría, and this is pastime with family and friends. Now, this could be an indication that maybe for some of you, it's time now for you to seek out new partnerships. But we also have love here, amore. And this could be about some of you trying to come to a decision about either walking away from a relationship because in a sense it's kind of done, or someone in partnership with you that is about to walk away. And this could be why we have the energy of the Tower. Let me take a look at this Devil card. These are not... it's not a bad spread, so... Look. Now, remember I was telling you about that 7th house, the house of partnership, but it's also the house of open enemies. In other words, it is the kind of partnership or maybe marriage where before it used to be really, really good, and now you guys are fighting like cats and dogs, okay? This could also be about a third party, and this is what happens when Jupiter in Libra shows up. Jupiter in Libra always brings, can always, or not always, but sometimes can bring a third party or outside party into your relationship. If that is the case, the reason why that's happening is the universe is trying to show you something about the relationship you have yourself with the other person, okay? It is like a test. At the same time, this could be because it's a justice card and it represents Libra. This could be the indication that this third party has come in to help you move out of that particular relationship, okay? But it's really shining a light on what really is going on in your relationship. That's really the lesson of that. And it may take that third party to come in because as you can see, we have the Limoneo, then we have the La Namica, and we have the Casa. Okay, on top of the Devil. Okay, and that is quite shocking to me. I was not expecting to see those 3 cards. So this could literally be your relationship coming up because somebody has come in, and whom we're going to not say, this would indicate that this would be a female coming in. So even if it's not, this Limoneo does speak to marriages, but it also speaks to contracts and nuptials. So this could even though it represents the Casa, this is about security, what you could deem to be security. It could be about a home, but it also looks like a bank to me. Okay, so again, it could play out in a romantic sense. It could be in a business sense, but it is definitely somebody coming in and holding up some shit that they ain't supposed to be doing. But the reason why it's happening is it's because I get, for some of you, this is not the first time that this situation has brought itself up. Remember, it's about learning the lessons and integrating them in the past. So the question becomes, what are you going to do about it? I want to take a look at this 2 of Swords here. Look, that's exactly what I was just saying. There's the money, there's the bank, there's the safe. And what I have is the mercante, the businessman. Okay, he makes deals, negotiations, and contracts. See, look, that's a lot of you are like, well, I'm confused. Is this about love? Is it about work? It's really not about either. It is about partnership and finding the balance in it, negotiations, and being able to negotiate a balanced, fair deal or outcome. The Giovani Fanciulla. This could be someone wanting to go either into business with a new person. It could also be someone, if it's a romantic situation, about to go into contract with another female. Okay, so now we've got two females here. One is the L'Amica, one is the Giovani Fanciulla. She would either be a younger female, but just in the sense she's going to be someone who is new. Now, in the event that we're speaking about one person and two different aspects of one person, we're going to look at this Giovani Fanciulla as someone who is about to take a new step for their own security. Why? She represents the virgin, and virgins are self-contained people. It has nothing to do with sex. This means that this is somebody who is fixing to take their shit in hand, okay, and work on getting themselves some new form of security, however that means. Now, I'm going to take these cards, and I want to look at the Justice. And then I'm going to pull one Angel Answer card, and we're going to close this reading down. So, remove the, in one sense, kind of remove the idea of whatever type, whatever label you want to put on a partnership, because it's about just looking at partnership in general across all aspects. This is what I'm getting from the reading. Not just romantic, business, friendship, familial, and the relationship, the partnership in which you have with yourself. Now, for some of you, I have the pensioner. This would be an older person. He represents the King of Cups as well. So I would assume, and I'm going to say, that there could be someone who might be able to help you balance this out. Then we have the important revelation. See? The important revelation. So some kind of news or message, revelation coming. Why? It's time. And whatever this revelation is, it's going to balance. It's going to bring about the balance. And that's what Pluto does. Pluto comes in to change the balance of power in any situation. And that's what you see that is happening. Pluto is now in Capricorn. And that's what you see going on in the political process here in the United States and with the balance of world power. Okay. Pluto in Capricorn comes in to change the structure of governments, institutions, ways of doing business, ways in which we communicate. It is a fundamental change, but it is one sometimes that people are not prepared for. And then I have the protector. So in one respect, if this is a legal issue, it could be saying that there may be someone who has some information, okay? And that information may end up being something of great value to you, the protector. This is a strange, this could even be you're going through something right now and someone shows up to help you. In which case, I know a lot of people have difficulty accepting help from people. I'm one of those. I have a difficult time with that. And that could be a fear. And so the question, the dynamic behind that is if you're typically one of those people who don't like to accept help from someone, and someone comes in and offers to help you in whatever capacity that you need that help, it is because your karmic debts and your karmic balances have come due. Okay? In other words, all of that old shit that you've had to work through, that's over now. And so someone's going to come in to help you move through that. So in other words, if somebody comes in to help you and offers you help in some way, accept it. Don't look at it in any way. It's because you've earned it. Your karmic balances are due now. And I was reading someplace, the full moon in Cancer, that's what this was going to be all about, that your karmic debts are going to become paid, doable, and paid. Okay? And for those of you who, and it may come quite suddenly to you, out of the blue. This could be somebody leaving you an inheritance of something, of some sort. And it may be someone wholly unrelated to you. That happened to a friend of mine. She used to go with her friend, and they would go do karaoke at this particular bar. And there was a man that was there that they would sit with and talk to. And she was going to nursing school. She was a single mom. And she said we would always just sit with, I think his name was Jim. We would always sit with Jim and we'd, laugh and talk with him. Well, Jim suddenly dropped dead. And then out of the blue, an attorney contacted my friend. When that guy, he changed his will. I don't even think he had any. He didn't. He had absolutely no family. If he did, he wasn't in contact with them. He left her his life insurance, his house, his car, and in effect, the guy was a stranger. She really didn't know him. And she was like completely freaked out. And I was like, well, what are you going to do? And she says, well, I'm going to go get an attorney and see what is doable. So that was her karmic. And simply by befriending that man when he didn't have anybody, her karmic debt was paid. She'd done the work, and this was her reward. Out of the blue. Completely did not see that coming. I kid you not. That's a true story. Now, some of you, trying to see how I can put this, because this card was supposed to say, it's supposed to be, if there was a question that wasn't answered in this spread, then this should answer it for you. So for some of you, whatever the question was that you had, for some of you, the answer is no. Okay? Now, we do know that we have this stuck Saturn energy and somebody being, and maybe that's the answer that's going to be coming. The answer for some of you may be no to whatever it is that you don't know about. Okay? That's what I have for you. That's an odd card to come out. That's what I have for you. And I do hope that there was something in this particular spread that may help you. I don't understand the no. I really don't. I don't know, maybe, I'm sure that means something to some of you, but we are talking about things changing for some of you quite rapidly. And so if you've got questions surrounding that, for some of you, the answer may be no, however that means, okay? So until next time, namaste.